Welcome to our biannual business lecture series. I'm very pleased to be here. I have been teaching here at Glendale College for about 7 years, and I am actually an alum of the college. We strive to prepare our students through this presentation to equip them with information and tools that will equip them to be successful in business beyond graduation. So we're happy to have you all here. Let's talk a little bit about what the panel today will be discussing. We feel that social media plays a very important role in the way in which business has developed, especially globally, over the last maybe 15 to 20 years. So allow me to, before we get into the discussion, introduce a couple of people that are key in making this event happen. One of them is here to represent an organization that is partners with Glendale College, known as GTL. And Janine is here to tell us about the Global Trade and Logistics Initiative that is part of our work here. Janine?
Thank you so much. My name is Janine Safina, and it's really a pleasure to be here with all of you today. I'm excited to tell you about ProGTL. ProGTL, which stands for Pro Global Trade and Logistics Consortia, is a statewide partnership promoting career opportunities in global trade, logistics, and entrepreneurship. In collaboration with private industry, educations across 11 community colleges in Los Angeles, Orange counties, and the American Jobs Center, we are also joined by our 4 deputy sector navigators as part of the Doing What Matters initiative. And this is part of the California Community College Chancellor's Division of Workforce and Economic Development. The mission of ProGTL is to provide access to the next generation of workforce talent in the global trade sector by promoting partnerships between the education and business communities. Through the students at our partner colleges, we are building competitive talent who are ready for career opportunities in global trade, e-commerce, logistics, and global entrepreneurship. So basically, what this means to you is that we're a partnership of 11 colleges, and we connect students with businesses. And part of what we do is being able to connect you to paid internships, to businesses that can provide jobs, and other exciting opportunities like this event. One thing that I'm really excited for this event is that they're going to show you how to get money to launch and grow your own global business. And who knows, maybe it'll be in global trade. So, and there's so much more I want to tell you, but I cannot tell you now. So what I would like you to do is actually take out your phones. Can you take out your phones for me really quick? Make sure you're turned to silent. And then go to either Facebook or LinkedIn. This is going to take you to our ProGTL page. I'm the social media administrator there. And then type in Pro-GTL. Pro-GTL. And if you would, like and follow us. That way you'll be able to see our newsletter, which it would be really great if you subscribe to that. You'll get a monthly newsletter, which is going to connect you to those opportunities that I spoke about, related to scholarships, internships, jobs, all sorts of things going on, including entrepreneurship as well. So, was everyone able to find that okay? Great, perfect. I wanted to tell you thank you so much. I wish you the best in your education, and I'd love for you to connect with me on social media, and we believe in you. Enjoy the program.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Janine. That's very important to us that we continue this relationship with the Global Trade and Logistics Consortium. Someone else I would like for you to meet, and you probably do know her, Hope Rosemarie Brown. Did I get that right, Rosemarie Hope? Please come up here. She's a president of our Life Club, and she's here to tell you a little bit about the club.
I'm a little bit shorter than he is. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the biannual business lecture series. I am president of the Lean In for Entrepreneur Club, just like Raphael was saying. We meet every other week up in the San Rafael building, which is right over here. And we are up in the sandbox, and we hold a session where we have an open table and we discuss what it means to be an entrepreneur and ways that we can lean into this process of being successful college students and graduate when how we move forward. And so if you would like to join us, please come by to any of our meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Hope. Well, our panels are eager and willing to start discussing the wonderful topics that you all want to hear. But before we do that, I want to make you think about what life would be like if you became your own boss, if you became an entrepreneur. You know, say you already have a patent that you own, or perhaps, you know, you have a business plan that you want to launch. What is the next step that you want to take? Well, you probably want to take courses, right? Courses like marketing, the course I teach. You learn how to do a marketing plan. Business 101 that teaches you how to write a business plan. And in the future, I believe we plan to teach social media courses in 2019. So look for that for next year. Why is social media important to business? Well, let me give you some statistics. Think about this. Almost a third of the world population checks into Facebook once a month. About 500 million people have accounts with Twitter, and 330 million people have accounts with LinkedIn. If you add that to the Googles and the Pinterest and the YouTubes of the world, you're looking at a massive captive audience that is willing and ready to hear your message, to hear about your offer, to hear what you have to say. Literally, when you leave this room today, you will be able to think about how you can open a portal and take a loan from whoever, find an angel investor, whatever it takes to make this happen. So I encourage you to pursue entrepreneurial studies. Professor Robert Newman, are you here, Robert? Can you raise your hand? Robert Newman is our expert entrepreneur instructor on campus, and he will be happy to meet with you and talk to you about what it takes to launch your own destiny. So with that in mind, let me jump into the introduction of our fabulous panel. I am so happy to have you all here. Thank you for joining us today. And I am going to begin with, who do I begin with? Danielle. Danielle Hervez holds a bachelor's degree in public relations from San Jose State University, and she is a social marketing expert. Her latest venture is a project that she worked on for the Power Rangers. Let's hold the applause until we introduce all of our speakers. Oh, you want to do it now? Okay. Right. Well, we can do it like that. We can do it like that too. Next on our list, we have Oscar Miranda, who says he struggled finding his way through. And it wasn't until he found comedy and found a presence on cyberspace where he found followers of up to 1.7 million who currently follow. He's an entertainer, and he is someone that makes me laugh because I love stand-up comedy. So a big hand for Mr. Miranda. We are very pleased to have Ben Raju. He's a Deputy District Director with a U.S. Small Business Administration from Los Angeles office. And he will tell you more about his job, but in essence, he is charged with helping people like you, perhaps like us, who are looking to fund a business. And he oversees the areas of Santa Barbara, Ventura, and Los Angeles. He's got a big job, big responsibility, especially considering the fact that California was just recently named the 5th largest economy in the world, pacing behind the United States and Germany, China, and Japan. So he's got a big job, and you all have a lot to learn from him as well. Can we give him a hand also? And last but not least, my co-host from Univision, Solange Rubio, is an expert in the area of influencer marketing. That's what she does for Univision, our current sponsor. And she is very interested in diversity in marketing specifically. So we're going to talk to her a little bit about that. And she's here to help us and help me co-host the event. So she'll be posting the questions. Let's give Solange a hand, please. Solange, it's all yours.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having all of us. I think we have a very interesting panel. You'll get a lot of interesting experiences from them. I started off my profession in influencer marketing, actually, at a very small agency when influencer marketing was like the wild, wild west. So that was a very interesting moment. It was when, people were printing their logos on their t-shirts and giving it to their friends who happened to have 10,000 followers, and someone saw that After that, you had 100 orders. That was kind of when I jumped into the space. And now I have been at Univision. Univision is very innovative, and they started the Univision Creator Network for influencers that we manage, and that we're the first multi-channel network that directly works with Latino content creators. And this is when two worlds collided for me, traditional media, and now you have the influencer space. So it's been a very interesting experience to see how this new part of marketing is integrated to traditional media. So I hope you get a lot out of this. There's a lot of different ways that you can be an entrepreneur. Even the influencers in their own way are entrepreneurs. So if that's something that you're interested in, it's definitely a path now. So with that, I want to hand it off to Danielle, and I want to kind of get your perspective. What is influencer marketing?
Influencer marketing is a way to reach an audience using a person or people who have a large following and to reach their audience in an organic way.
Awesome. Do you have a classification for who counts as an influencer? Is there like a minimum following that you look at?
As far as I'm concerned, anyone is an influencer. Anyone has word of mouth marketing, which is you can speak to someone. You do it every day. Hey, I just got this good coffee. Got it from Pete's. I got it from Blue Bottle. That's word of mouth marketing. You are an influencer. So anyone can be an influencer.
Awesome. And then in our intro, we talked a little bit about your venture. You are a consultant in PR. So we wanted to kind of ask, what is a minimum investment that is necessary to launch a local social media campaign?
It varies. It really varies. The average for a larger company can be from $200 to $350 per day for a campaign for social media advertising. But I choose not to invest that much in my campaigns. If I can, if it's a larger campaign, I will put more of an investment behind it. But you can do a strong campaign for about $100 a month. It's all about getting in social media, knowing who you're targeting, making the most of your demographics. So it's really about understanding your insights and who you are looking to reach.
Awesome. And do you have any specific favorite tools that you use for measuring that? And
yes. So I started out at a few companies that didn't have budgets to do strong advertising, didn't have budgets to reach influencers, and so I had to get really creative with the tools that I used, and it really benefited me when I started my own business because I can do a lot with a little. And so I use Buffer. They have a $10 program where you can schedule and do social media on a high level for about $10 a month. So that's really awesome. You can schedule everything out. You can get analytics there. But my secret sauce, which I can't believe I'm telling you, but it's Hootsuite. I really love Hootsuite. You can have a full view of what's going on in your social media network. And so you can see who is mentioning you, who is hashtagging a very specific hashtag, based on your campaign, based on your competitor's campaign. You can do a lot there. It's really cool. Check it out. Awesome. I don't work for Hootsuite, I swear.
Cool. And I want to move on to Oscar. What does an influencer do exactly?
Create content for their followers, regardless of if it's comedy, cooking, working out, you're an athlete, whatever it is, you just create content and people watch. That's basically what we do.
How did you get started? What motivated you?
Like, how did I get started doing what I'm doing now?
So you jumped into Vine in the beginning, right?
Yeah, so I was working security, and I realized I hated my job. So I just told myself I don't want to do this for the rest of my life, and I ended up getting fired. And at the time, I had a 2-month-old son. And instead of going to school looking for another job, I said, you know what, I want to act. I'm going to be an actor, which is probably the stupidest thing I could have thought of. And I started doing social media, started doing YouTube, Instagram, Vine, reached out to a bunch of people, different creators. Eventually somebody messaged me back, and through that person, I met literally everybody on social media that you probably see now. And one thing led to another, and it kind of just took off. So that's my job now.
Awesome.
Luck. There's a lot of luck.
And a big fan base.
Yeah.
Loved what you were doing.
Yeah.
So 75% of marketers are now using influencer marketing. Is there something specific that they need to be looking for in the influencers that they're working with?
Making sure their following is legit, I would say, because there's a lot of influencers out there with fake followers, and you could see when they have fake followers. You see somebody with like 2 million followers and they get like a couple hundred likes on a picture, like it doesn't add up. You know what I mean? Some companies don't see that, so when that happens, it's kind of like a slap in the face to us that worked for our followers. I could buy 10 million followers and say I want this much for this campaign, and they give it to me, as opposed to somebody who's earned 10% of that and they're getting way less than I am. So probably just the legitimacy of it, I guess.
Authenticity of it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I want to tie it back to small businesses. You've obviously worked with brands like Toyota and Taco Bell, and they have the budgets for this. What about a small business that wanted to work with you? How could they approach you that would be appealing?
I guess it would just depend on the business. Like, a lot of times I do get a lot of small businesses that reach out to me. And they ask me for my rate, and it's usually a little higher than they would like it to be. So I just tell them who I've worked with, why my rates are where they're at. I kind of have like a breakdown sheet, and I give it to them, and they say, oh, okay, cool. And a lot of times they try to like work something out, like, what if we do this and you do that? And, sometimes I'll work with them. Most of the time I'll refer them to other friends that, aren't as fortunate and can't bring in as many campaigns for themselves. I say, well, my buddy, he wants to do it. So I kind of like throw them off to them, and their influence is just as good as mine, but their experience isn't, or mine is, you know what I mean? So I help them out one way or another. I don't just curve them and say, no, I'm good,
Right. You take the time to respond.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you use any tools to kind of analyze your engagement and your fan base?
No, just insights. Just the insights on the app, Instagram or Facebook. I just see when's my most active time to post, where my most active followers are from. Then I go based off of time zones, so when it comes to posting. But no, I don't go to like no third party.
Beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The apps are self-sufficient. They're built
for
the content creators.
Yeah, for me personally, I get everything I need to know off of just the apps, yeah.
Awesome. So talking about entrepreneurs and becoming one, I want to go to Ben, and I want to kind of ask, what does SBA do?
We help make dreams come true. See, I got a laugh out of everybody. Now, specifically, we help entrepreneurs make their dreams come true. The SBA stands for the Small Business Administration. We are a federal agency, and we actually help business owners or aspiring entrepreneurs start, grow, and expand their business. We specifically have a variety of different programs to help on the capital side. So if you're looking for financing, I know Rafael mentioned earlier, whether it's financing a startup business or whether it's financing an existing business to be able to expand it, the SBA works with lending partners to be able to provide that to small business owners. Specifically, our loan programs are designed for maybe folks that otherwise wouldn't be able to get financing. Maybe you don't have enough collateral. Maybe you're your credit score might be a little bit different than what a traditional lender might want. The SBA is there to help offer a guarantee to be able to say, okay, you know what, if you lend so-and-so this money, the SBA can come in and provide a guarantee to you that if this person doesn't repay that loan, we'll pay back up to X%. And that's the agency's capital program. And there's a variety of different ones, depending on the size, depending on the amount, what you're purchasing. But we work with different lenders to be able to do that. We also help folks that are looking to get into government contracts. For folks that are maybe woman-owned businesses, disadvantaged businesses, minority-owned businesses that are looking at competing for government contracts. Because if you didn't know this, the federal government is the largest purchaser of stuff. We buy everything, and we buy a lot of it. And we have a mandate to purchase it from small business owners. So if you are a business owner that sells a particular product or a service, or have a business that's in media or marketing, guess what? We have those needs as well, and we hire small businesses in order to do it. And if you're a certified woman-owned business, or if you're a minority or a veteran-owned business, which are all programs that we actually help with, then you actually have advantages when competing for those contracts amongst other people. So those are things that we can help with as well. And this is actually great for here at Glendale College, because we also have counseling programs. So one-on-one consultants that'll actually help you with your business. Let's say you've got a great idea, like, hey, you know what? I make some really good empanadas, and I know I can sell these things, but I know nothing about marketing, or I know nothing about how to sell it, or what I'm going to charge for it, or how many empanada companies there are around me, or how many other people are doing it. We have one-on-one consultants that will be able to help you walk through that process and be able to help you do market analysis, help you walk through and maybe create a business plan, do different things to be able to help you start your business and take it to the next level. Let's say you already have a business and you're really good at selling empanadas. You're doing all right, but you want to be able to get it into Whole Foods, or you want to be able to get it into Costco, or you want to be able to take it to the next level. The SBA has experts that'll be able to help you get your products and help you develop your business and create a trajectory for you to get to that next level of success. The last thing that I really want to point out is that in a disaster situation, the SBA actually helps business owners as well as homeowners and renters that are impacted by disasters recover from that through low interest loans as well. So we do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do we charge for our services? You actually already paid for it. So it's actually offered through through your taxpayer dollars. So if you don't use it, it's your loss. So we encourage all you guys, if you guys are looking for information on Twitter or anything like that, let me throw a plug out there at SBA_Los Angeles to be able to learn some more, or SBA.gov for website information. So at SBA_Los Angeles.
Awesome. So a lot of the resources sound pretty local, but is there any resource for domestic and global enterprises that people are trying to launch?
Well, let's say Danielle wants to take her business international. What do you think? You want to go? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Dubai. All right. Danielle wants to do business in Dubai. Do you know anybody in Dubai?
No.
All right. Would you like to know people in Dubai?
Yes.
Guess what? Call SBA. Let's say Oscar wants to go. Where do you want to go, Oscar? Brazil? You want to go to Brazil?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go to Brazil. All right, we're going to Dubai. We're going to Brazil. All right, we got a little shout out for Brazil. The SBA actually works with partners throughout the world to be able to provide business owners with the opportunity to take their business global. So let's say Danielle wants to start doing PR for marketing and branding companies that are international and are global, and maybe they're headquartered in Dubai. The SBA works with the Department of Commerce, and we can connect you with folks that are actually in Dubai that actually work with people that are looking for your products and services and be able to help you get to that level. The other thing is we actually also help you with understanding how to get paid by the people in Dubai, because there's a different process, right? And to help understand how do I do that? How do I price myself? What's my competition? Those are all things that the SBA can help with. We also have financing programs. Let's say you want to go to a trade show in Dubai to be able to market your services. The SBA can help you get there as well through different grant programs, as well as financing programs that we have to be able to educate you on, hey, how do I get there and how do I take it to the next level?
What is your exact role at SBA, so we know? I
am actually the deputy director. So as Rafael pointed out, our office actually covers Los Angeles, Ventura, and Santa Barbara counties. That's about 129 cities and 11 million people, and probably one of the most diverse areas in the world. And we work every day to really kind of get an idea on how to best serve all of the different folks and all the different small businesses that are within our territory. We partner with folks like Glendale College and other community colleges, and as well as state and private universities. We work with private entities as well as small and large businesses to be able to give our entrepreneurs a footprint and an avenue to be able to access the services that are available.
So you're our local go-to.
I'm here if you need me. I'm definitely here if you need me. I actually don't do it on my own. I've got a great group of folks and a great group of partners that help us service our folks on a daily basis. So the reality is that if there is something business related that you need or you need an answer to, whether it has to do with regulations, whether it has to do with laws, whether it has to do with media, marketing, financing, etc. Let's say I don't know the answer to it. I more than likely know somebody who does know the answer to it. So, as my friend in the audience there pointed out, it's not a service that you haven't paid for already. It is paid for through tax dollars. A majority of our programs are free and available to each and every one of you guys. Just got to go out there and go get it.
Awesome. I want to go back to our two youngest entrepreneurs really quickly. Danielle, can you let us know kind of what launched you into going off and branching on your own? You are pretty young and you just graduated, did PR. Did you have a company that you worked with before, or did you stem off?
I started doing exactly what you're supposed to do. I had internships, I asked people's parents, I did informational interviews, and I started at a PR firm in San Francisco. I didn't like it. I moved on to another one, didn't like it. I moved to a few different companies, and I just found that I did not like working for someone else. And in such a changing market, I realized that we needed to do things faster and sort of shed traditional ways of doing things. So I have a friend who is an entrepreneur and a business owner, and I just started picking her brain, and I realized she knew a lot and found a bunch of other people that knew a lot, just started asking questions, and then one day, one of my friends who was an artist needed social media consulting, and I just dove in. I think that's the best way to do it, is don't think too much. If I had kept asking people, I probably still would have never started my business. I just did it. And wrong or right, I figured it out and found the best way.
Awesome. And what about you, Oscar? What advice would you give to an audience member that probably wants to start their YouTube channel? What are 3 things that they need to keep in mind?
I mean, just do it is one. I mean, just do it. You know, like there's a bunch of people that want to do it. They're too scared because they think they're scared of what people are going to say about a lot of insecurities, you know. I'm probably like one of the most funniest looking dudes on the world, you know what I mean? But I'm put myself out there, you know what I mean? I don't care. You know, I just express myself and use real life situations that grew up happening to me, or stuff that I see, or stuff that I just think of, and I just put it into a skit form and kind of, okay, what could happen after this? What could happen after that? What's going to be the punch? You know, a lot of times some videos are a lot weaker than others, but not everyone's going to be a banger, you know what I mean? So just do it, man. Just, who cares what people say?
Can they use their iPhone?
Yeah.
What can they talk about?
I started using my iPhone. And you know what? I bought a very expensive camera, and I learned that doesn't even matter. Like, they just want to see content. People just want to see content. They want to have something to watch, to be distracted from whatever they're going through, or, you know what I mean? Try to be as original as possible, even though that's kind of hard these days, just because everything's been done, you know? You could think of something similar to something somebody else did, or something that happened. This happened to me. I thought of a situation for a video, and it had happened on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I had seen the episode, but I didn't connect the two. And they're like, "Oh, you stole that from Fresh Prince." And I was like, "What?" And I went back. I was like, "Oh, damn, I did." You know, unintentionally. But yeah, try to be original and collaborate. If you know somebody that's in that area, your area, just collaborate with them and kind of just, you know, hey, go check out his stuff, go check out her stuff, and, you know, mix it up. You know?
Awesome. Friendships matter.
Friendships matter.
Community matters. Awesome. Well, I'd like to bring up Rafael back up to the stage, and thanks for letting us all speak.
Wow. I call myself a marketer, and I think I just wrote a book mentally. Tons of notes. Thank you. everyone for sharing your insights with us. Solange, since you didn't get a chance to be interviewed, I would like to interview you just briefly. One question. When I read about your background, you talk about your interest in disproportionate representation of minorities in media. And as it pertains to marketing and advertising, what are your thoughts on that? Because when I worked in the industry, 10 years ago, 5% of a corporation's budget would go toward ethnic advertising and marketing. Has that changed in social media particularly?
Yeah, so I don't have the visibility to the actual numbers, but from my perspective, I do think that social media has revolutionized how companies are spending, and they unintentionally or maybe intentionally are spending more in minority communities, but that is probably because the majority, at least in California, is now the minority. The majority of people here are minority individuals. And I also think that social media is extremely accessible. Oscar talked about using his iPhone to get started, and you don't need an entire set. You just need those tangible experiences that someone else can relate to. And that has prompted a lot of Latino entrepreneurs. I see a lot of the women in our networks, they're mothers. They were stay-at-home mothers who started in their living rooms and with these makeup tutorials, and now they are making this a profession, a six-figure profession. So I think in that way, it has opened the doors so that people are spending more money with minorities, and advertisers and brands are going to follow the numbers. So if someone has 1 million followers, I don't think it necessarily matters if they are Latino or African American or Asian creators. The numbers speak for themselves.
That's a wonderful answer. I'm actually doing research on that end, and I'm presenting in Portugal this summer, so I would like to talk to you more about this offline. Wonderful. Well, before we hand the mic over to our audience and pose questions, I would like to just ask just a very quick question, very, very quick. For our students who may be hesitant about taking the plunge like I did, when I was asked to host this event, I was very nervous and I almost turned it down because the people before me have done an amazing job and I just wasn't sure. But I took the plunge. So for students that are wanting and ready to go for it, what would be the 1-minute answer? What should they do to start, but they're afraid?
I think I'd follow Oscar's advice, just do it.
Just do it.
And more importantly, get to know SBA. There are a lot of tools and a lot of resources that we have that will be able to, I think, relinquish some of those hesitations and some of those different things that that you may have. You might be really good at doing a particular service, providing a particular service. You might be really good at, we used the empanadas earlier, making them, but maybe you're not so good at QuickBooks. Maybe you're not so good at figuring out how much to charge for it. There are other people there that are experts that can help you and that can help boost your business. We're in the business to help you with your business. And if you have an idea, if you have a concept, if you have something that you know is going to be able to be taken to the next level, we're here to help you leverage that. Just to give you an idea, Steve Jobs leveraged SBA programs. Chobani Yogurt used SBA programs. Ben & Jerry's used SBA programs. Under Armour did. Are you the next? Fill in the blank.
That was deep.
Wow. Danielle.
I would say use what you have. Use what you have. When I started, I didn't know what I needed, and I thought that I would have to make a huge investment and drain my savings account, and who knows what I would need, but I wanted to have everything. So one, use SBA, because I would have known that I didn't need much. But also build a portfolio. And that is something that I think a lot of people don't tell you to do, is when you do something, say you make jewelry, take pictures of you giving it to your friends. Say you make cupcakes. Ask your friends who needs cupcakes for their birthday party. Here you go, and here's the cupcakes. Let me take a picture of you with the cupcakes. Say something nice for me. You can build like a Google Doc, a one sheet in Photoshop if you have it, and just have something to show. So if you do go to a business, you do want to get your cupcakes in the Whole Foods, you can say, look, I have people who really enjoy these cupcakes. They use them for this event and this special time, and they enjoyed it. And keep that, use what you have, and know who you're going for.
I'm going to stick by my previous statement and say just do it. But I'm also going to piggyback off of her. Use what you have. You don't need a lot to do whatever it is you want to do. I started with my iPhone, wrong. I started with an Android. And and I didn't have an editing software, so I downloaded, I forgot what it was, but the quality of it wasn't good. I eventually upgraded to an iPhone, downloaded iMovie on my iPhone. From there, I got my laptop, downloaded Final Cut. It's like, little by little, you got to invest in yourself and believe in yourself, as cheesy as that sounds, But yeah, just do it. It's my motto. I'm going to get it tattooed right here. Just do it.
Just do it. That sounds familiar, right? That's branding.
They stole it from me.
Amazing. Wow. I am in awe. So let's take a few questions from the audience, and we have mics on the floor. Go right ahead.
Hello. Thank you for being here. I have a couple questions. Just do it sounds fine. I mean, I'm going to be a future entrepreneur. But I just want to make sure that you have to have preparation and organization before you just do it, because you can't just do it without knowing your field. So as an entrepreneur, I've been preparing, organizing, but when is the right time to say, you know what, I think I got it enough? And this is directed more towards Mr. Ben, because I'm pretty sure you've been through all that. So I just want your take on it.
Well, what was your name?
Eugene, sorry about
Eugene?
that.
Eugene. Great question. One of the things to really know is preparation. Preparation is key. And I think we alluded to business plans earlier. We alluded to making sure that you have the right contacts, make sure that you have, to just jump in and do it. That is definitely an option or an opportunity to be able to go in there and just trial and error. And I think we have two great representations of the fact that if you go out there and you do it, you can be successful at it. But not everybody is that way. And now this is a great example of the diverse district that I serve, right? We have folks that would be more than happy to jump in there, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to be successful no matter what. And go out there. And then we've got our planners, right? We've got our folks that, hey, I need to write this down, I need to be able to do that. We help with all of that. So to create your business plan, to be able to drive, and the business plan, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, is really your roadmap to success. Hey, year one, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm about. This is what my product is. This is where I want to take it. It's your roadmap to success. And to have that plan, to help develop that plan, we have people in our small business development centers. We have our SCORE chapters, which actually, hopefully soon enough, you guys will have one right here in your back door, right on campus. And our women's business centers for women. So women business owners have a specific organization that they can go to be able to help with their entrepreneurial drive. These people are there to help you one-on-one work through your life cycle of your business. Let's say you already started and you need financing. They're there to help with that. Let's say you just have a concept or an idea. They can help you develop that concept and really commercialize it and take it to the next level. So for the folks that want to jump in there and get it and learn by trial and error, that's definitely do it. For those that are looking to be able to plan and to be able to have a roadmap, and those that are in between that want just a little bit of a roadmap, have some ideas, have some questions, they just need a little bit of guidance, we're there for that as well. And again, it's free. You've already paid for it. There's services that are there. Whether you want to know more about media, marketing, whether you want to know more about QuickBooks, accounting, financing, we have classes, we have different programs available all throughout our district to be able to help that. And we're a federal program, so even if you move to Wisconsin, the programs and services are available there as well.
Wonderful. Next question. Oh, you got one behind you.
He's got a piece of paper. He's got a lot of questions.
Hi, my name is Vahan Zohanian. I just wanted to ask the question to basically all five of you guys. I wanted to know what's the most important factor in sticking out above the rest in whatever it is that you do.
So, what is the most important factor to stick out above everybody else?
Yeah, what's the most important factor in sticking out above the rest?
So how to stand out amongst your audience?
Like, yeah, exactly. Like you have a competitor that, like you have a lot of competitors, but how do you, what's the main factor, or is there a main factor that makes you stick out more than the rest, or how to get there?
You're talking as a business? How do you stand out as a business, a point of differentiation kind of thing?
Yeah, like in order, let's say you have a lot of competition in the same business area, what would you say is the factor in sticking out?
Right. So I think he's referring to the point of differentiation. Danielle, maybe?
I can start, yeah. So for me, there are tons of people that can do social media. Everyone says that they know what they're doing, they understand the platforms, they may use them for themselves, they may use social media for brands. But for me, the thing that makes me stick out is my reputation. And so I make sure that I do plan and prepare properly. I do get work, but also I document that work. I keep a nice portfolio of the work that I have done to show. And I'm sure there's someone out there that's doing it better than me. I'm sure there's someone out there that's working harder than me, because there always will be. But you just have to make sure, like you said, your personal brand matters, and keeping your personal brand strong and taking pride in your work.
Right. Thank you, Danielle. Yeah, and so what I can add to that is, there's the theorem that we talk about in marketing, the first mover advantage. So whatever company launches first, they have the opportunity to reap benefits from controlling the market, but also failing because they didn't know better. So the second player in the market is going to take advantage of that information that didn't exist the first time around. So point of differentiation. Yeah. Any other questions for our audience?
One back here, Raphael.
Oh, where?
Back here.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, thank you for taking time to do this, but I just have a question. With rising interest rates and rising inflation, and investment banks are saying we're near full employment, do you think it's dangerous to start a business near the end of a long-term business cycle, or do you think you just shouldn't pay attention to the macro economy when you're trying to start a business and you should just get out there and do it? Thanks.
So all those factors matter. I mean, all of those go into your planning and into what it is that you're going to start off. Would you start an ice cream company in December? Probably do a little bit better if you started it somewhere in a different time of the year, right? But will you sell any? Yeah. Would you sell more than you would have if you hadn't started? Yeah. So there's a lot of factors that go into starting a business, and this is where my friend down here that asked the question about planning and marketing and getting a chance to really understand what that roadmap to success is like. When you're starting a media campaign, just like when you're starting a business, you're going to understand, okay, when I do this, the expected result is going to be this based on these conditions. And that's where your business plan comes into play. That's where that planning comes into play. And once you go through that, sometimes, most times, you're going to go, you know what, maybe I need to adjust this in order to make sure I get the maximum impact. Maybe I need to send that tweet at maybe 9 p.m. as opposed to 3 a.m. because at 3 a.m. people have a different mindset than at 9 p.m. Maybe I need to start my business right now and knowing that costs are going to rise because my costs are going to be a little bit lower now than if I wait. Maybe I need to lease versus buy because the market's a little bit higher. Those are all factors that are going to come into, and those are all risks of starting a business and going into business for yourself. But again, if it was easy, everybody would do it, right?
Thank you.
We have a question back on this side.
Any other questions? Okay.
Good afternoon. My name is Doris Driver. I'm a Deputy Sector Navigator for Entrepreneurship and Business in the Los Angeles region. And my question is, how are you advising and supporting those who are entering into the gig economy? In other words, they have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. They don't necessarily want to start a business, but they are their own business. Are you advising them differently, similarly? I'm just curious.
So entrepreneurs that are going into business in a different sector. So we have a variety of different services and programs that we counsel in. So I mentioned earlier that we have a diverse environment and a diverse market. I'll give you a good example. The tech sector. We actually have a business advisor, business advisors at the Los Angeles Chamber of Commerce. It's called the Bixel Exchange, that is specifically designed to help people in the tech sector. We have restaurant experts. We have social media experts. No, nothing negative to any of our folks up here. But we have people that are in the market, that have been there, that have done that, to be able to advise them. Because, to your point, starting a tech business is much different than starting a bakery, right? Starting a car wash is much different than owning a liquor store. And there's different rules, different regulations, different things that you need to take into consideration. And that's a very important point to make sure that when you are taking advice, when you are learning from different people, make sure they know what they're talking about. Because if somebody was successful in creating a media company and you're going to go start an environmental company, to do testing or to do different things or to do consulting in a completely different area, there may be some hurdles and some other things that they may not be aware of that you might be able to help with.
So, Oscar, what was your greatest video that had the most impact and helped your client?
Oh man, that's hard.
Something really cool.
I've had a couple, man. But I think the ones that have taken off the most are ones where I'm dancing. Oh man, that's hard. Let me think about it. I'm drawing a blank right now. I'll get back to you. Let me think about it.
We'll get back to you. All right, that was, thank you, Oscar. Well, thank you all again. Do we have time for one more question real quick? One more question? Yeah? Okay, make it quick, please. Yeah, gentleman standing in the back.
Social media marketing. Are there certain guidelines or points or targets that you're trying to achieve when you're going out in a campaign that you can just gloss over a little bit?
It depends. For every brand, it depends. Some people care more about return on their investment, how much money they put into their assets, into whatever product they want to push. Some people just want to get the name out there. So it really depends, and it's part of the planning process to make sure you know what your goal is and how to reach those, which levels of the plan you need to create to get there. I would look for people who need what you have. Look for those people, find a way they can use it in a good way, find a way that they can use it, and then show them that. It's leading a horse to water. You show them how to drink it. Hopefully they'll drink it. It's a risk, but that's the way.
Wonderful. Thank you. I think we are going to wrap up. Okay, go ahead. Can we make it?
Okay, so making use of the first mover advantage you mentioned. And all of you would have your ear to the ground. What is the next YouTube or Facebook we should be aware of? Is there anything on the horizon?
Oh, what a wonderful question.
I guess you can never know. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of platforms and apps out there. You're not gonna know if it's gonna blow up until it blows up. You know, it's one of those situations. Perfect example. It's not a social media. It's a game. I'm pretty sure some of you are. It's called Fortnite. I think it came out in like 2010 or something, and it just started taking off this year. And I think it's one of the biggest games out right now. You know, I'm pretty sure nobody would have predicted this is going to be the #1 game in 2018. You know, but that's my take on it.
Okay. We have to actually cut it at this time. We have to empty the room. So I would like to speak with you one-on-one. Perhaps you can talk to our panelists one-on-one. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. I would like to thank the GTL who is here with us today. Thank you for showing up. ASGCC. And we hope that this is the beginning of a partnership between GCC and Univision for future events to come. Our wonderful panelists, I have a gift for all of you. It's a small token of appreciation. My pleasure. Danielle.
Thank you.
And Oscar. And my co-host.
Oh, that's cool.
We hope to see you guys here again in September. We'll have a bigger event. Thank you.